Just off the back of another swim, where in this one Chloe set me doing sets of 400 meters, which is sort of 16 lengths of the 25-meter pool, which for me is quite a lot. It's a big jump from what I've been doing, but I'm pleased that I'm able to do these things non-stop now. I guess I'm probably exposing myself here as to how slow I am, but it sort of takes me an hour and a half to do a 3.2k swim. The positive to that is the first swim I did, which was 1.5k, took me just over an hour. So I've doubled the distance, and the time is coming down. So while there isn't an element of competition to this, I'm not needing to do this. I'm not needing to beat a time or anything like that. I just want to complete it. Time is going to be an issue, otherwise I'm going to be out on the sea for 60 something hours, which I don't want. So so I feel like I'm getting more efficient. People are great. People are really nice. Like there's people who stop and talk to you during the breaks and sort of give you tips, and some of them work and some don't. But I'm just taking advice on from everyone, and I can feel like every now and then my concentration goes and I get tired, but then when I bring it back to the stroke and the kick and the breathing, and it's just a good feeling when it feels right. It does feel like you go through the water a lot quicker. So I've just got to keep focusing on that. But yeah. So I've had feedback on my food diary, which I thought was quite good. But yeah, the biggest killer is apparently there's too much sugar in my diet, and especially first thing in the morning with my cups of tea. So the options are to either try and drink tea without sugar in it, which I've tried before and just can't get my head around it, or I switch to coffee because for some reason I don't have sugar in my coffee. I quite like coffee black with no sugar. So maybe that's an option, so no more tea. Hey, bit of a negative update for me. I'm feeling terrible. Really struggling the last 2 or 3 days. Not been sleeping great. Still trying to train the same. I don't know. I'm trying, like my body's trying to adapt, I think, to the training, but I'm also playing around with my nutrition as well, and I'm going to bed really hungry. So basically what the idea is to try and stop eating after my main meal at about 7 o'clock, not to then eat any more calories before going to bed, just having like herbal teas and things like that. And the idea is that it just sort of helps with regeneration sort of through the night, and it's supposed to help you get into a deeper sleep. But I don't know if it's probably because I'm not eating enough during the day, and then I'm going to bed really hungry, and then that's keeping me awake. I'm having weird dreams. So I was up like 5 or 6 times last night. And then perfect timing, James has updated my program because I was telling him the uppers were too easy. So yeah, I woke up feeling terrible. Now I've got a harder gym session than what was originally planned. So but yeah, I'll suck it up. I'll try and like I said, I think this is just my body adapting. Yeah. Okay, post gym, feeling really tired, and just having sort of conversations with James and Sally really about my nutrition, my sleep, and just having a little bit of a moan about just how I'm sort of struggling to sort of fit everything in. My routine at the moment is sleep, eat, gym, eat. Then it's come back and it's maybe do a second gym session or a bike. The amount of washing that I'm getting through, it's madness. And then on top of that, I'm still trying to work. I'm covering a few clinics and covering rugby games and things like that. Still trying to keep up to date with my profession. So I've got a couple of lectures coming up that I'm sort of putting together presentations for. So I'm still working as a physiotherapist, as well as taking on this challenge, and I'm not even into the nitty gritty, the meaty bit of the training. I'm still in the intro stages. So what's this going to be like when I've got long swims for hours and bike rides and runs and things like that. So just trying to get my head around that, and it's me being more organized. It's me prepping food properly. It's me going, rather than going to the convenient supermarkets, it's going that little bit further to buy in bulk. Yeah, just like I said, just realizing what I've taken on, and I have these days where it just feels a little bit overwhelming, but they're few and far between. Most of it is positive. So coming to the end of week 3 of my gym program. Yeah, a bit sweaty, finding it hard now. I think I don't want to say ready for a rest, but I'm getting a little bit more tired with each session. Did the long swim, or my longest swim yesterday, which was the 3k non-stop, which I've talked about. But I found that mentally, quite a challenge. I think because I built it up to be something that was this obstacle, but actually having done it, I think I made more of it than what it was. But that being said, it feels like it's taken it out of me today. I repeated a session this week that I did last week, and I found it quite tough today. So rest day tomorrow, and going to enjoy not doing very much and eating a lot. So yesterday I had a phone call with Katia from Team Selkie, Selkie Swim, who have come on board to support the challenge. I'm going to become one of their ambassadors. I think we had a conversation, and we talked about the ethos of the company and their principles and what they want to be known for and what they want to support, and it matches a lot of what I'm trying to do with the challenge, sort of more outrageous open water sort of swim events with an environmental sort of consideration, with me sort of raising money for Surfers Against Sewage. Yeah, so massive news for me to be able to have some support in terms of equipment for swimming, but also knowledge, know-how, contacts, sort of links with people who might be able to help me with my technique with swimming, the social media side of things, trying to grow the awareness, trying to push the message. Just unbelievable. Just back from another swim, and wasn't great. My fault. I've messed up my schedule this week due to other things sort of going on and juggling things around. I ended up doing swim the next day, doing shoulders, and then doing a swim again today. And this was one example where this time my body gave out before my mind. And yeah, just really difficult. Like swimming through treacle, felt like I was sinking. But it was one of those days where you get everything I'm doing is on my own. So I'm supported behind the scenes, but I'm communicating by email and by text messages, and there's no one physically there with me watching what I'm doing, and you get these voices in your head, these little dark sort of comments of like, no one will know. If you don't train today, or if you cut that corner, no one will know. And they were the sort of voices that I was sort of hearing today, was that sort of thought process. And but what I'm proud to say is that I know I'm only a few weeks in and I've got a very long way to go, but I haven't skipped a session. I've done every session, and today was one where I didn't skip it, but it was a terrible session. It was hard work. but they're going to come. And when I spoke to Sally about this before, she said that, you know, I'm going to have more of those days than I am good days. And all I kept saying to myself was, if you cut the corners or if you don't go, you're going to feel worse for it. But like, this challenge is going to be hard, and there's a huge risk that I'm not going to complete it, that I'm not going to be able to get around the island, and I'll be okay with that if I can look back and say I did everything I could. But if I look back and go, I cut that corner, or I took that cheat day, or you know, then I'll be gutted. Then that will really get to me. So today was one where I could sit and think it was terrible, and really difficult. But, or I could look at it and go, but I turned up and I tried. You know, I didn't meet the outcomes of the session. I was supposed to repeat a session I did last week, but try and do it for better time. There's no way I got anywhere near that. But it's, you know, I treated it as, okay, I'm tired, let's train under fatigue. Like, I shouldn't have done swim, shoulders, swim. I should have broken it up with the legs or a bike session or something like that. I've learnt. But I was like, right, I'm in the pool now, I'm tired, let's swim under fatigue and see how I go. So a little bit windy, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Running on the beach in Lanzarote. Just my first attempt at using the Stats Sports unit, my GPS, just to start tracking my load. I'm still about a couple of months away from my formal running training, so at the moment it's quite unstructured, but the marathon training will sort of start a little bit later on in the year. But what's important is, because of the amount of swimming that I'm doing, I need to make sure that when I do start running, it's not a shock to the system, and that one of the bigger risks of suddenly increasing your running will be a stress reaction. So it's important that the bones are used to the loading and the impact. So for the next couple of months, I'll just be doing like unstructured runs, but just getting a bit of load through my feet and through my shins, just so that by the winter it's not too much of a shock really. But good opportunity today. I did a bit of a mixture. I did some road running for exactly that, to get the impact. But also, you can probably see all of the sand dunes sort of around me in the background. Provided a really good opportunity to just try and get some intensity. By, you know, running in the sand is quite hard. There's a few sort of steep hills that I could do, and so yeah, just increase my metabolic load a little bit. But yeah, good fun. No relaxing on holiday. So down on the island for the weekend visiting family, but still need to fit some training in, so need to try and get a swim done today. So very thankful to the littlest sister for sorting out a swimming pool down at the United Kingdom Sailing Academy. So gonna go down there now and try and get a session in. Part of this journey is figuring out the nutrition and trying to figure out what helps me with my fueling, what helps me with my recovery, what allows me to swim well. So it's a learning process, and today, lesson learned, tuna and tomato pasta before a swim is not the one. Finished another swim. Big thank you to the UKSA for facilitating and letting me use their pool. Big thanks to the lifeguard that sat in there and watched me just go up and down. Was a really good swim for me because I had a really bad swim earlier on in the week where I really struggled. I felt heavy, I felt lethargic, and yeah, just wasn't a real comfortable swim. Spent the next 2 days beating myself up about it, thinking I'm not getting better, I'm going backwards. But today actually was good. Got back in the water, just got on with it, and actually sort of glided through, felt really comfortable. Yeah, really happy with it. So you know, I'm going to have more bad days than I am good, and it's just good every now and then to follow up a bad day, just get back in, keep moving, and just keep making small steps. So yeah, really happy. That's it for this week. I'm now trying to step up from 2 swims a week, trying to step up to 3 swims a week. So that'll be a new challenge that I'm looking forward to.
So Sam's second block of training is slightly more of a strength focus, meaning that the reps have gone down a little bit, the intensity has gone up, and the volume has also gone down. So all that means is that Sam is focusing a little bit more at the minute on gaining some strength. However, it's still really important that he has strength endurance. So in his program, there is a mixture of exercises with quite low reps, and then at the end, some more what you might call metabolic conditioning, where he's doing different types of circuits. So the reason for this is that as time progresses, we want Sam to move into as much of a classic strength program as we can. However, at this time, it's still kind of we're far enough out where we can work on building some lean muscle mass.
So, in the cold pool for some recovery after a long swim. The main benefits for me for recovery, or the main things I need to do really, are nutrition and sleep. Without those, as a foundation, without those, the rest of it is meaningless. But things like the cold pool have certain benefits. For me, psychologically, I feel better when I come out. There's also the analgesic effect of the cold for aching muscles, and we also think that the hydrostatic pressure of the water helps with the compression and the recovery of the blood flow back to the heart. This is really cold. So, like I said, recovery, nutrition, so I've got my protein shake just to tide me over until dinner tonight, and I'm going to get an early night and try and get a really good sleep. But I'm going to have to turn this off, I'm sorry.